Portia, the third of 8 children.
Actually, let's skip the bio.
Oh, okay.
Now, without further ado, we present the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged, revised, written by Adam Long, Daniel Singer, and Jess Wingfield. And Shakespeare. All the world's a stage, and the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. One man in his time plays many parts. Of course, it would be impossible to portray all the roles of Romeo and Juliet with just 2 actors. That's why we're using 6. After extensive textual research and analysis, we decided to begin.
2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, do with their death, bury their parents' strife.
Act 1, Scene 1. In the street, 2 men meet, tall and handsome. One Benvolio, the other Capulet. Their hatred fueled by an ancient feud. For one serves Capulet, and the other Montague. Duh. Oh, I like to rise when the sun rises early in the morning.
Oh,
It's him, my dog, and his animal!
Do you bite your thumb at me?
Sir, no, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb to you.
Quarrel, sir? Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
And if you do, sir, I implore you, I serve just as good as man as you.
No better?
Yes, better.
You lie!
Rebellious subjects, enemies to the peace.
Uh-oh, it's the prince.
Profaners of this neighbor-stained steel, you Capulet shall go along with me. Benvolio, come you this afternoon to know our farther pleasure in this case.
Sour.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right, I'm glad he was not at this fray. Oh, see, he comes. Romeo, he cried, I'll be in his favor or be much denied. Good morrow, cuz.
Is the day so young?
But news struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long.
What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having know which having makes them short.
In love? Out of love?
Out of the favor in which I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so rough and tyrannous in proof. Go ye to the feast of Capulets. There sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so lovest with all thy beauties in Verona. Go thither and compare her face with some that I shall show, and I shall make thee think thy swan a crow.
No maid is fairer than that of mine.
There's gonna be food.
Free food?
Free food.
Sweet, I'm so there.
So much for Act 1. Now to the feast of Capulet, where Romeo's doomed to meet his Juliet. In a scene of timeless romance, he'll try to get into Juliet's pants.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Did my hot love till now forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night. If I profane mine worthiness hand this holy shrine, the gentle fine is this, my lips, 2 blushing pilgrims ready to stand to smooth that rough touch with tender kiss.
Oh, good pilgrim, you do wrong with your hands too much mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, from palm to palm as holy palmers kiss.
But saints have lips and holy palmers too.
Aye, pilgrim lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then dear saint, let lips do with me.
Then saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
They move not, while my prayers affect they pay.
Then from my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips, oh trespass, sweetly urge. Give me my sin again.
I don't want to kiss you, man.
In the script.
Kiss by the book. Oh, coming, mother.
I she Capulet, so I fear. What are you doing?
Balcony scene.
What light through yonder window breaks?
Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father, refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not be but sworn by love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. What's in a name, anyway? That by which you call a nose, by any other name would still smell. Oh, Romeo, doff thy name, is no part of thee, and take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Henceforth I shall never be Romeo.
Art thou not Romeo? And Montague?
Neither, fair maid, either thee dislike.
Dost thou love me then? I know that will say I no take thee at thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. Oh, Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I swear.
Oh, swear not by the moon.
What shall I swear by? Lady, by yonder blessed virgin I swear.
I don't think so. No, do not swear at all. Though I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too sudden, too unadvised, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one say it lightens. Sweet, sweet Godiva. Yo, Romeo, over here.
Shalt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have?
The exchange of thy vows for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. Whoa, whoa, second base is your second date, sweetie. 3 words, gentle Romeo, and then good night indeed. If thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send word tomorrow. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow. Really it is. Bye, Romeo.
Oh, Romeo did swoon with love by Cupid he'd been crippled, but Juliet had a loathsome cause, whose loathsome name was Tybalt.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain, therefore turn and roll.
Tybalt, I do. I never entered thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise.
The wretched boy, I am for you. Oh, I'm slain.
Thank you.
Now what do we do? Moving right along. From Tybalt's death onwards, the lovers were cursed, despite the best efforts of friar and nurse. Their fate pursues them. They can't seem to duck it. And at the end of Act 5, they both kick the bucket.
Epilogue!
Wait, what did you think, Jesse?
Guys, we
What
did
did
it.
you really
Fine, fast.
Okay. Ready, set, go. Oh, now, my love, my wife, whatever shall I do? Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with the kiss I die. My turn to die.
Oh, Romeo, then all be brief. Then how happy dagger, this is thy sheath.
A gloomy peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show its head. Go forth and have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished. For never was there a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. And Romeo and Juliet are dead.
Now we shall move on to explore the genius evident in Shakespeare's more mature plays as we present his dark and brooding tragedy, Othello, the Moor of Venice.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of a problem in performing Othello. Since Othello was written for a black man, and we're obviously not, I mean,
We're ladies.
No, wait, guys. I think we can do this. Come on, I got an idea. Just kind of join in. There once was a brother by the name of Othello. He liked white women and he liked green jello.
Yeah, and a punk named Iago who made himself a menace because he didn't like Othello, the Moor of Venice.
Now Othello got married to Desdemona.
But he took her for the wars and left her alone.
It was a Mona.
A grown-up.
He left her with Ona.
He didn't write a letter and he didn't telephone
Now
her.
Othello loved Desi like Adonis loved Venus.
And Desi loved Othello because he had a big sword.
But Iago had a plan that was clever and slick. He was crafty.
He was sly.
He was sort of a
dick. He said, I'm gonna shop the Moor.
How you gonna do it?
Tell us.
Well, I know his tragic flaw is that he's too damn jealous. I need a dope, I need a kind of schmo.
So we found a chump sucker by the name of
And he
Cassio.
plants upon Desdemona's handkerchief.
And then Othello gets to wondering just maybe if, while he's been out fighting,
Commanded an army.
are Des and Cass playing hide the salami. Salami.
So we come back home and it's mother the witch.
Yeah, they think he pulled it off without a hitch.
But there's a Mia at the door.
We met in Act 4.
You said you big family, she weren't no hoe. She was
Pure.
She was clean.
She was virginal too. So why'd you have to go and make your face turn blue?
It's true.
It's you.
Now what you gonna do?
And Othello say,
Damn, this is getting pretty scary.
so he pulled out a blade and committed Harry Carey.
Iago got caught, but he probably copped a plea
Loaded up his bag.
and moved to Beverly
Hills, that is. Africa!
Why don't we take a break from this hip-hop doodle-op and move on to the comedies for a while?
Comedies!
Now, Shakespeare was a genius at borrowing and adapting plot devices from different theatrical traditions.
Yeah, basically Shakespeare kind of stole everything he ever wrote.
Stole is kind of strong, bro. Distilled, maybe.
Well, then he distilled 3 or 4 of the funniest gimmicks of his time and then milked them into 16 different plays.
You see, essentially, Shakespeare was a formula writer. Once he found a device that worked, he used it.
Over and over and over again.
So, Mr. Shakespeare, the question we have is this.
Why did you write 16 comedies when you could have just written 1?
In answer to this question, we have taken the liberty of condensing all 16 of Shakespeare's comedies into a single play, which we have entitled The Comedy of Two Well-Measured Gentlemen, Lost in the Merry Wives of Venice on a Midsummer's 12th Night in Winter.
Or
Cymbeline taming Pericles the merchant in the tempest of love, as much as you like it for nothing.
Or
The Love Boat Goes to Verona.
Toot toot!
comedy?
Comedy.
Comedy.
Act 1. A Spanish duke swears an oath of celibacy and turns the rule of his kingdom over to his sadistic and tyrannical twin brother. He learns some fantastical feats of magic and sets sail for the golden age of Greece, along with his daughters, 3 beautiful and virginal sets of identical twins.
While rounding the heel of Italy, the Duke's ship, which is cast in a terrible tempest, casts the Duke upon a desert island with the loveliest and most virginal of all his daughters. The innocent vision of loveliness stumbles into a dark cave where she's molested by an inhuman green monster, which symbolizes the extreme right wing of the Republican Party.
Act 2. The Duke's brother's sons, also coincidentally 3 sets of identical twins, have just washed up on the shores of Italy. Though still possessed of an inner nobility, they are ragged, destitute, penniless, flea-infested shadows of the men they once were, and in the utmost extremity are forced to borrow money from an old Jew.
He deceives them into putting their brains down as collateral on the loan. Meanwhile, the 6 brothers fall in love with the 6 Italian sisters, 3 of whom are contemptuous, sharp-tongued little shrews, while the other 3 are submissive, air-headed little bimbos.
Act 3. The identical shipwrecked daughters of the Duke wash up on the shores of Italy and disguise themselves as men and become pages to the shrews and matchmakers to the Duke's brothers' sons. They all lead the lovers into a nearby forest, where on a midsummer's night,
A bunch of mischievous fairies squeeze the aphroditic juice of a hermaphroditic flower into the shrews' eyes, causing them to fall in love with their own pages, who in turn have fallen in love with the Duke's brother's sons, while the queen of the fairies seduces a jackass, and they all have a lovely bisexual animalistic orgy.
Act 4!
The elderly fathers of the Italian sisters, noticing their daughters missing, dispatch messages to the pages telling them to kill any man in the vicinity.
However, unable to find men in the forest, the messengers, on a final misguided act of loyalty, deliver the messages to each other and kill themselves.
Meanwhile, the fish creature and the Duke arrive in force disguised as Russians, and for no apparent reason, perform a 2-man underwater version of Uncle Vanya.
Act 5!
The Duke commands the fairies to right the wrongs.
the pages and the bimbos get to a knockdown, drag-out fight in the mud.
During which the page's clothes are ripped off, revealing female genitalia.
The Duke recognizes his daughters.
The Duke's son's brothers recognize their uncle! The magician turns the monster into a nude who fails miserably at running for president.
And they all get married and go out to dinner.
Except for a minor character in the second act who's eaten by a bear, and the Duke's brothers' sons, who, unable to pay back the old Jew, give themselves lobotomies.
And they all lived happily ever after.